What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So I know I told you guys we're going to Massachusetts, but we had a change of plans, so we're going to take you along today. We're going down to Snow Hill, Maryland, so down close to Pocomoke City, Maryland. So this load we're doing is like a load of blocks and sand for one of my buddies. Actually, they got this job down there, so should be fun. It looks like it's in a long dirt road, dirt driveway type of thing, so it should be interesting, but it's pretty dry around here. Had some rain the other night. I got done late last night. I had quite the experience, but it was dark. I wasn't filming. It was dark. It took me about 2.5 hours to unload, almost 3 hours to unload this. I had to piggyback about a 3/4 mile in this road, down the hill, up the hill, over a creek. It was quite the experience, let's just say that. And Matt was not too happy. But anyway, it worked out, and then I just went over the truck real quick this morning, got up, an hour earlier just to get her shined back up again, because it was pretty dirty from the rain and the mud the other night. So yeah, I gotta go hook to the trailer, and we're gonna go over there and load right now. It is about 4 a.m. and he's gonna meet me there to get me loaded up. I think it's like 8 skid units, something like that. And so he's gonna get me loaded up early this morning, and then he's actually gonna follow us down through and yeah, make sure everything's good to go down there to get this unloaded so that they can get this house built. So thanks for tuning back in, guys. I appreciate it. Should be a fun one. Thanks for tuning back in. Let's get rolling, and we'll see you guys out on the road. We got loaded up this morning, made it out here on the big road. Should be a pretty smooth trip down. Route 1 here to 113, all the way down, almost to Pocomoke City. Down toward the beaches, Ocean City, down that way. Should be a breeze this time of the year. I tell you guys what, it's not fun coming down here in the summer. It can be an absolute mess. Like today's a Thursday. Yeah, it can be quite a mess coming down through here. Yeah, anytime from spring to fall, really. But we should be good today. I'm gonna stop up here at the toll booths and see how everything's riding back there. Check, see how everything's looking here. Should be fine. I mean, these blocks, they haul pretty nice. I got my Mighty Products wide edge protectors there, which go get you some of those if you're looking for edge protectors. This skid of brick I was a little worried about, but it looks like it's doing fine. Then we got 2 skids of veneer here. Looks like everything's staying together nicely, so yeah, I don't think we have much to worry about. We'll keep riding. Alright, good enough. I tightened some of the straps, and yeah, she's riding pretty nice. We got, a bunch of different stuff on some of these skids, so I really wasn't sure how it's going to ride, but it's looking good. Let's keep rolling. Guys, we're going to go back out to the job out there in Claysburg, the Sheetz project, and take another load of timbers out there, so should be fun. Those loads are going to keep trickling in. I don't know how many there is altogether, but We're gonna do another load tomorrow, and then yeah, there's another load of timbers ready as well, I think, for next week. Sam's taking a piece of equipment out tomorrow, so yeah, we took a couple loads out. Now they're going to kind of just keep trickling in, you know. After a while, we'll be taking the flooring up, and you know, as they work on the project, we'll take different supplies up. So probably have you guys up there a few more times, you know. That everything is shrink wrapped on these skids of block, but at the same time some of it keeps coming loose, you know, and it's flapping in the wind, and it's annoying. So we're kind of got to deal with that. Got some back there flapping now. I should just stop and tear it off. We'll keep riding for a little bit, see what it does. To my buddy Mike, the guy I'm hauling this load for, from Dutchie's Stoneworks. That's the name of him and his dad's business. They do some nice work, patios, all that good stuff. So anyway, he's just a few minutes behind me, so we should get there about at the same time. We got about 8 miles to go. From what I understand, this is somebody's hunting cabin, hunting property, and they've been using their RV, I guess, and now they put up a, you know, an actual house or whatever it is that they can stay in when they're there. So I guess it's a hunting property slash vacation spot, relaxation spot, you know what I'm saying? So it should be interesting. It's in a dirt road, or a dirt driveway. Like a pretty long driveway. It seems a little wet down here yet. I don't know if they got rain the other night when we did, but yeah, the ground's a little more like sandy. And I know some of this ground, like you know, it can be kind of wet and you're still fine because it's pretty solid. So we'll see how it all works out. So if you don't know where Snow Hill, Maryland is, we're basically between Ocean City and Assateague Island. You know, only a few miles from the beach, really. Just east, or I'm sorry, just west of the shore. Ourselves a sketchy little back road here. Kind of just had to drop me a pin to tell me where it's at. Right up here somewheres. Okay, we're parked on the street here and we're gonna go map this thing out. See what it's looking like. Like I said, there's really no traffic on this road, so I'm not real concerned about being parked there, that's for sure. See what this looks like. Well, so far not too bad. Obviously we got some trees here to deal with, but Yeah, I'm liking it. See that? It's solid, sandy soil, so not too concerned about it. We got a little bit of, a few soft spots in here. Look at those dense pines. Wow. That is some dense forest in there. Yeah, just a few softer spots, you know, where might get the tires a little dirty, but other than that, I think we're fine. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about it. I think we can get in here. Just gotta dodge a couple of trees here and there. And we got plenty of room to swing too, so it shouldn't be a problem. So my buddy's not here yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and mosey on in there, mount the 360 over here, and see how this goes. There's my buddy Mike. I ended up waiting on him just to make sure that we don't do anything dumb. He said, come on in, let's get her done. See what this job site has in store for us. I'm not too concerned about it, but you never know, folks. You never know. I am actually going to do this just so I make that post for sure. It's a little tight there by the gate posts. We're gonna have to clip these trees just a little bit. We're just gonna have to deal with it. Just cringe as you clip the trees. Come on. How close is that gonna get back there? Yikes. Like these soft spots are kind of weird. They don't seem bad at all. I guess water lays there, I don't know. Go over a little bit and see if I can avoid this pine tree. Nope. Tried to avoid it, but couldn't completely avoid it. Hopefully we can turn around back in here, my friends. If not, we'll just have to deal with it. I can tell you one thing, it ain't gonna be easy backing out of there. There's a, what is there behind me? A box truck? That is just weird. You know how when somebody, when there's a vehicle all of a sudden behind you and you didn't know there was anybody around you? Especially at a place like this, I like look in my mirror and I'm like, what the world is going on here? There's a box truck right on my tail. He must have came in through there fast. But he's just gonna have to deal with us because we're gonna take it easy. Just take your time back there, my friend. Just take your time. We're not gonna hurry in a driveway like this. You just relax. Really gonna hug that right side, and then I seen that it drops off into like a water little gully there, so glad I seen it before I did something really dumb. I think we're almost there. Got all the straps off. I gotta wind a couple of them up here yet. And this should be pretty straightforward. It's going back in there. Those are the spray foam guys. That's who was behind me. And then, from what I understand, we can just pull up into there, back over into his food plot there. I think that'll give us enough room to swing past that tree. So, see how it all works out. That's all she wrote. Let's get our edge protectors away and then see if we can get this rig turned around. Can I reach that? Yes, I can. See if we can get this thing turned around. I'm gonna wait to load the piggyback until we turn around. I think sometimes the trailer comes around a little better that way, so. Strap these down in the back and then turn around. Okay, now that really wasn't bad. My 360 was full of storage right as I'm making that turn to get turned around, and I just grazed the pine tree, not the stump, but the leaves and stuff, so it worked out pretty good. He said I can turn around in his food plot if I need to, but I was like, you know what? If I can avoid that by any means, I will. So didn't have to do that. Got turned around without tearing much of anything up. So let's see if we can get this rig back out of here and back to the 717. usually it's easier on the way out. Take it easy here till the mud slings off the tires. I always thought this would be a fantastic place to retire. You can kind of be out in the middle of nowhere like this, then at the same time, you're right near Ocean City, Assateague Island. So if you want to go to the beach, you're a beach kind of guy. The beach is only a few miles away. You got resources right here. You know, you don't have to go far for food and groceries. Good hunting. All of that fun stuff. At the same time, you're close to the beach, but at the same time, you're, you know, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So I think it's kind of a win-win. I don't know what it's like to live down here. I can't imagine that. Well, taxes are expensive in Maryland, I think, in general, but I can't imagine that homes are too expensive here. There's a lot of run-down stuff here that I would think you can purchase for very cheap. I don't know. You would think so. You would think so. Yeah. We're gonna get this rig on back, guys. Back to the shop. Switch trailers. By the time we get back, it's gonna be about 2 o'clock. So maybe we can get that lumber loaded up today yet. I don't know. Originally they had planned on unloading it, or I'm sorry, loading it today, and then he was thinking I might have to pick up some stuff in Lancaster before I leave. Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna have to wait till 7 o'clock to leave, you know, because they don't start loading till then at Leisure Lumber. So we'll see. I gotta wait till he gets back to me. Once he lets me know for sure, then I know if I can, you know, load today. Yeah, it'd be nice. But at the same time, tomorrow, Friday, we don't have a ton going on, so basically just gotta run that load out to Bedford. I got quite the hours in this week, so I'm good with quitting early. So we'll see how it all pans out. If we can load today, we definitely will. Okay, so we're up here in Claysburg again, or almost, at least. We're on our way up. Another load of timber framing and some LVLs. This is the last load of the framework for this barn. And then later on we'll probably be bringing up some flooring, you know, some of the interior stuff. I don't know when that's going to be. I know that the lumber yard there that I haul for, they said they're doing the tongue and groove, so I imagine I'll be hauling that later on, you know, in a month or so. Beautiful day today, but very windy. Supposed to only go up to about 45 degrees with high wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. So yeah, you can really feel it once again today. I think it was on last week's video too, but yeah, same thing today coming out here, man. It is just windy. You can hear the visor creaking, the windows creaking, the trucks, you know, you can feel it blowing around. What I did this morning is I had to load up some LVLs at Leather Lumber in Lancaster, so I loaded up the timbers at the customer's shop, then went 30 minutes on up to Leather Lumber, so I couldn't leave early. So I'm up here again at, you know, it's 9:30 now, be there around 10 o'clock. No, that works out fine. My birthday's actually today, so Sam had another run for me with the equipment truck. I said, hey, can I wait till tomorrow? He was like, well, you know, if you want to put in a very full day, because you got to go to Maryland, then all the way up to northern PA off 81, so, you know, it's going to be a long day for me tomorrow, but I figured, well, if I can get off early today, my family wants to celebrate my birthday, you know, then I can just put in a long one tomorrow. That'll, you know, be fine. So my wife and I are doing this thing where we're, you know, just trying to eat healthier. No crazy diet or workouts or anything like that. Just trying to eat a little more healthy. So you might not see me eating pastries for a while. And I know some of y'all are going to miss that. So no pastries for the rest of the year here, you know. Just trying to get a little, you know, get a little bit of a gut here, come on. So, anyway, along with that, we're fasting Mondays, where we do a 24-hour fast from Sunday night into Monday night, you know, and then at dinner time we eat a meal. But tell you what, guys, I don't know if it's not the not drinking coffee thing, but man, last Monday was the first one I did, and that was tough. I got such a splitting headache, it was unbelievable. Man, I suffered. So yeah, that was tough doing that. And then yeah, so today's Monday and doing it again, and it's, you know, it's 9:40 now, and yeah, starting to feel it a little bit, but we're still drinking water. I got a thermos full of lemon water, so you know, we're still drinking water, but I don't know, it really stretches you, that's for sure. My sunglasses today. It's a little bright out, you know. I'm not used to that. I use them a lot. We're just turning in the job site here. See if we can find Paul or one of the Amish kids to unload us if they're not around. Actually, I'm sure they are. The crane's up in the air, but if they're not, we can always do it ourselves, you know. You know how Matt is with that. He likes to unload himself. Gotta swing it wide to get in here. Take up the whole road. No, you're good. Just, yeah. I know. I look like I'm being ridiculous. Swinging all the way over there. Should have my camera mounted on the other side just to show you guys how close it is, even swinging that wide. Got about a foot from that little street sign at the end of the driveway. I usually don't bother talking to the supervisors. This is one of those jobs where, you know, supervisors or the guys running the job can be hostile sometimes. Like, I experience it on our job sites, like, you know, for sure the commercial ones, and like this one here, they're very picky. You gotta wear your PPE and all that stuff, you know. You know, don't get caught slacking, right? Which is, okay, whatever. But they're really nice here. I mean, they are strict, but the guys are awesome. You know what I mean? They're fun to deal with, and they'll chat with you and all that. So, yeah, it's a nice job site. It's all right. Got a concrete truck behind me. That's probably saying, man, get that thing out of my way. I usually just pull back here and get off to the side, try to stay out of the mud, just so people can get by if they need to. I don't know where that concrete truck is going. I'm trying to stay out of that mud over there. Right here is where we're going to unload her. He started as soon as I had some straps off. It's a brisk one up here this morning, but we'll survive. It's not terrible. Still not even winter, right? But he started the Amish kid. He started unloading it right away as soon as I had 3 straps off of the back pack. So just had the one guy come over. One of the workers here or something, he comes over, he's like, man, you got this thing shined up just to come over here to our job site, didn't you? I'm like, yeah, that's right. I want to look good, man. So he appreciated it. The last time I was in here, I was able to back down in there to get out, but there's too much stuff there. Can't go out that way. Can't turn around really unless I could do it here, but I'm not seeing it. So I am gonna back out to the street, which I think should work fine. I don't think I'll need any help. I think I can even probably see to get out. Makes you wonder how old all this stuff is in here. Like, got all these cabinets in here, windows, all kind of stuff. Timbers are still in fantastic shape, you know, like I was showing you guys the last time, which I always find fascinating. Makes you wonder if buildings that they're putting up now are gonna be this nice in, you know, 200 years. I'm thinking probably not. Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. I mean, look at these timbers. It's crazy. Just fantastic condition yet, which is probably the reason that they can, you know, reuse them for the barn they're putting back up. Old paintbrush hanging there. Steps look a little old. It's like they got an upstairs there, but I'm sure they don't want me going up there. Not with those steps. I wonder if that was the first original Sheetz over there. Because people are telling me, I keep telling people about this project, and they're like, oh yeah, the first one originated in Altoona or somewhere right here. So if it's not that one across the street, it's got to be, you know, nearby somewhere. I wonder what they're going to do with the old, looks like a house out front there. Wonder what they're going to do with that. I've been told they're going to redo this one too. And they're working, obviously working on the house over there. As you can see, got some guys working on it over there. Putting everything in place. A lot of this stuff is like cut to fit, made to fit. So, you know, it's got cutouts in it and all that. And they just got to pound it in place. And, yeah, fasten the screws and all that. So it's a pretty, these timber frame jobs are pretty interesting. You know, a lot of it gets fastened. A lot of the stuff that they're fastening probably gets, you can see them off in the distance there, pounding a piece down in with the big mallets. I don't know if you guys can see that. They just got done with one the way it looks, but it's pretty interesting how the timber framing stuff works. You know, they put, everything's made to fit exact. Might have to shave a piece here and there, but everything's made to fit. They put pegs through it and then might add some screws. I'm not exactly sure, but pretty cool process, I think. It's just like, you know, kind of done like it was back in when this was built in the 1800s. Well, Sam just called me and said maybe it's because of my birthday. He's going to cover the short equipment run, so, or he's going to load it up for me. And then I'm going to deliver it tomorrow down to Maryland. But then, you know, I still have a full day, but nice I don't have to do that today yet, and I can just, you know, go home, hang out with the family. So that's one thing I do appreciate about working here at Danco, is they do treat me well, and me and Sam work together very well, you know. So I appreciate that. Let's get her started up. Coming up to get the last pack off here. I'll get him the paperwork and we can get on out of here. See if we can get backed out of this driveway. All right. Why was that? Is that camera running the whole time outside? My 360, it says insufficient card storage. I don't know what that's all about. It's got 20 minutes of... Yeah. Alright. I guess it was running that entire time. I don't know. Whatever. I gotta delete some files. Anyway. Let's see if we can back this rig out of here without hitting anybody. I don't know how you guys are when you back and stuff, but when I'm backing, man, I gotta put my windows down. And I gotta turn the music off. and it's got to be full concentration. You know what I'm saying? Anyone else that way? When you get somewhere, you're backing in. Literally the first thing I do is turn the radio off. Second thing I do is roll both windows down. I don't know, that's all. The other thing I'll do is if I have my seatbelt on, I'll take it off. Because I'm like moving around and anyway. It should not be a big deal. We'll see if anybody runs out to help us. I don't see any of the Amish kids running out. Looks like they're about ready to take their break. They just watched me back by. But like I said, I can see out my peak, or actually probably out my passenger side window, because this road kind of angles in off of the main road there. And here to my left, of course, I can see there's a fence there. Makes it a little more difficult, but I really don't think we're going to have any problema. We'll just ease out through. Alright, I don't see anything coming that way. I'm just going to go out to the white line and I'm going to stop. Look either direction. There's nothing coming. Let's do it. Can't see very far that way, but we're going to do it anyway. Easy peasy. Come on back. Not bad at all. Close my windows or I'll freeze. It's like 30 degrees up here. There was a little bit of flurries going on there when we were unloading. They were calling for some snow last night, but I guess it didn't do a whole lot. It stayed on that side of the ridge. Snowed just north of here, he said. Sam was out here this morning. He brought a telehandler out. He was here at 2 o'clock a.m. He wanted to get an early start. So, yeah, he arrived. He left at like 11:30. Came up here at 2 o'clock. Unloaded it. Went back to Royersford, I think. Got a lift, dropped off a lift there, and then picked up a lift there. Don't know where he took that, but then he went and picked up the lift that I'm hauling to Maryland tomorrow morning. So, shout out to Sam. I get an early day off on my birthday. I'll probably be done by 2 o'clock, something like that. My wife is gonna love that. Over there watching us. What's up, buddy? He's sitting over there all the time. Last week when I was up, they had an officer on this side of the tunnel, and then here on the other side of the tunnel, which we might see it now, they might have it again. But then on the other side of the tunnel, they had a DOT officer in, you know, in a super duty. And so the guy back there would pick a truck, you know, chase him through the tunnel, get him at the other end, and the DOT officer would meet you over there, do an inspection or whatever they wanted, you know. So hopefully he's not there now to bother anybody. Any of you guys know Only for Trucks on YouTube? He's coming right by us here in a sec. Maybe we can get some footage. Pretty cool, huh? Good stuff. He's a nice guy. Check him out. Only for Trucks on YouTube. Sorry about the wind, guys. You know, this old girl has been getting a lot of compliments lately with that new paint job. So like I said, that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow, hauling that telehandler down to Maryland. But yeah, people seem to be liking this paint job, liking this paint scheme, which all the credit goes to L&S Truck Painting, you know, again for the nice work they did on it. So anyway, I'm gonna head home, guys, and spend time with the family and get back at it in the morning. This could be the end of this video. I appreciate everybody watching. We'll see you on the next one.